Hi everyone. So today we will be talking about what to do when you are a few days away from the exam. Yes, when we are few days away from the exam, we are very anxious. We are very stressed. We feel like we are forgetting everything. So there are certain suggestions that I wanted to give you what you should be doing when you are at least like a few days away from exam, at least 7 days away from the exam. All right, my name is Dr. Mohammed Shah. So some of the important things that you should be doing when you are at least 7 to 8 days away from actual exam. Your health is important, your body and your mind. You need to have a strict routine of your workout. Cardio is excellent to have a good blood flow to your brain. It also helps you to sleep well. When you work out, you feel like you have more energy, you have a more focus what you're reading throughout the day, and also you have a better sleep. Sleep is important because when you are a few days away from the exam, there is a lot to memorize, and our memorization really plays an important role when we sleep. Our hippocampus organizes all the important information that we feed into it. So make sure that you're at least sleeping 6 to 8 hours every day. Not just the 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but also have a strict routine about your sleep. When you're a few days away from the exam, you make sure that you're going to the bed exactly at the same time and getting up exactly at the same time that you would wake up in the morning on the day of the exam. Also, sleep atmosphere. It's a good idea to sleep when it's completely dark. That way your brain and your body adopt its environment and give you a better sleep. Another thing is that when we are a few days away from the exam, we wanted to cover everything and anything. So we increase our study time period. So structure your study plan, and according to that gives you some breaks in every single day. As I mentioned in my previous videos, that you need to make sure that you are reading to the point that you're retaining information but not getting yourself exhausted. So reading about 30 minutes and 5 minutes break is a good strategy. And also make sure that you are giving yourself at least 5 or 4 hours of the day to yourself, in which you spend your time with your friends, family, loved ones, and also giving yourself time to work out, watching some TV. So basically you're restoring your brain during that break time. So it's not only important that you should have a throughout the day short breaks, but also in the end of the day before you sleep, give yourself some time to recover. Because it's not a good idea that you're studying 13 hours throughout the day and you're so tired that at that point you're not retaining much, but you're still trying to retain and still trying to review and memorize. So when you're tired, you should just completely close the day and move on. That's how even you should do throughout the period of your preparation, but especially in the final days of your preparation. Also, in the final days of preparation, students compare themselves with other candidates. So we all are different. You might be different than your study partner in the sense that your study partner may be good in one particular area or one particular organ system or subject. You might be good in organ system that your study partner is not strong enough. You might be good at that. So it's not a good idea to compare yourself, especially in the final days of preparation. You have unique strengths and weaknesses, and everybody else is different, So be each other to support, not to cause any stress. When you are a few days away from the exam, make sure you contact the Prometric Center and ask about the COVID regulations. Since the COVID have changed a lot, now they might require you to wear a mask throughout the period of your exam. If that is the case, you make sure that every single day when you're doing questions on QBank, wear a mask. Feel like an exam environment. How would it feel on the day of the exam? That's how you should be feeling at the home when you're doing the QBank questions. So this way you will be much more comfortable on the day of the exam. Also, it's a good idea to take at least 6, 7, or 8 blocks of practice exam at your home with mask on if the mask is required at the Prometric Center. A day before your exam, this is my recommendation. Either you take a completely day off from the study, or if you are studying, try to study early in the morning for only few hours and then take the day off, because the next day you have exam and your brain need energy. And if you are trying to study all day long a day before your exam, you might be much more anxious and much more tired on the day of the exam. So rest as much as you can a day before your exam. Also, make sure that you have all the documents available. Your exam permit, your identification document is ready. So every document, you should have it ready for the exam. Also, make sure that you are aware of where the prometric center is located, how far it is from the location where you are staying, so how much it will take you to get to the prometric center. If possible, I would suggest, if you're not too far from the prometric center, go and check it out. So how the parking is, where is the cafeteria, and so on. It's a good idea that you should be familiar with the setup of the prometric center where you are taking the exam. About the clothing, I would suggest pick the clothing that is comfortable according to the weather. So wear comfortable clothing for the exam day. Also set up alarm in time AM, like 5 AM or 6 AM before you go to the bed. And also make sure that it is an AM time, not the PM. So yes, so you set up an alarm, pick up your comfortable clothing, have your documents ready, and the night before your exam, you have a light dinner. So it's a good idea not to fill up yourself. So have a nice, soft and light dinner that gives you some energy on the day of the exam. For the day of the exam, I would suggest plan to arrive at the center at least 30 minutes in advance. So schedule your time of travel that you get you there at the center at least 30 minutes before your exam starts. And also have your documents with you. Make sure that all of your documents is with you, and also have your food with you, because on the day of the exam, it's not a good idea to avoid food, because yes, stress level is high, so you might not have an appetite, but your brain need glucose. Make sure that you have a good healthy food with you, and make sure that you are eating during your break time. Also, do not bring your study material for the day of the exam. I have seen students says, okay, I have my book with me, and during my exam break I was taking a look at if my question was right or not. I have my first aid with me, or so on, or master the board. It's not a good idea. During your break time on the day of the exam, take a complete full break. So do not take the books with you for the day of the exam. And once the exam is done, when you walk out from the prometric center, take off completely. You don't want to go home and start opening your book and start looking at the questions that did I give the correct answer on that specific question or not. So take a day off without looking at any of the material once the exam is completely done. Here is one last tip for the exam. When you go to the prometric center in the morning hours, when you go through the screening and checking all the documents and verification, when you get to the computer, the center staff will give you a laminated document, laminated sheet, a white paper. You can ask them more than one if they will give you one, but if you want more than one, you can ask them. Soon you sit down to the computer, I would recommend you to write down important information such as in formulas that you memorize, and like a half-life and drug distribution, and any of the formula that you memorize, Fick principle and so on. You just walk into the prometric center's computer desk and just sit down, and within a minute or two, just quickly write down all the important formulas. So during exam, if you come across with any of the questions which require calculation and a formula that you can use, if the formula is already written on the laminated sheet, that will help you not to get stressed. You just quickly calculate and find the right answer. I hope you find this video helpful, but if you have any question, do not hesitate to reach out. Like and subscribe and share this video so more viewer can get this information, and also when I post new video, you will get the notification. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best.